One of the things I love about Bardstown Bourbon is their collaborations that they do with all kinds of different companies. Today is one of those, Amrut, Indian single malt. Let's get it going. Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to review Bardstown Bourbon's newest collaboration. It is Amrut, which is an Indian single malt whiskey mixed with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. It'll be on the screen at some point during this video so you can kind of see it and kind of embrace it.
Yep, so we were given this bottle. This is released literally today. Well, no, is it being released today or the media information being released today?
We get to put it out today. That's all I know.
Fair. We get to release it today.
Yeah.
It should be getting released at the distillery at any point in time. There sounds like there is a ton of cases of this, so it should be everywhere.
Yeah.
From reading it. Really quick, this is obviously Bardstown Bourbon Company. It's 110 proof. It is going to be $159. And
which is about the going rate for most of their
collabs. I agree. Also, there is a huge long list of mash bills on there. The good thing is all these are coming from legitimate big boy distilleries. Show the mash bill list, whatever in here. The important thing is with it, you're seeing some of these mash bills, probably, maybe, possibly seeing a little Wild Turkey, a little Ross and Squibb, a little Heaven Hill, maybe a little Jim Beam. Maybe just throwing that out there. Also, something I do want to point out too, because this is actually, with it being a burr rye, it's also a finished, like what we were talking about with the single malts. The rye whiskeys were aged in the Amrut Indian single barrel malt barrels for 18 months. So they were finished and then blended with all the bourbon. So, which is kind of unique. And they were finished for 18 months, finished on the floors 2 and 5 of Warehouse C over at Bardstown Bourbon Company. So,
and just a little information for you for life. Amrut means in Sanskrit, elixir of life. So enjoy that. Take that wherever you want to take it.
Word of the day. Anyways,
now on to
the review. It has been a day.
It has been a day.
It has been a day.
Whoa. That cinnamon pops off to me.
I was actually going to say it's like a cinnamon cherry candy.
Yeah. Man, there's a good deal of cinnamon in there for sure. I've never drank Indian malt whiskey.
First time for everything. I haven't had any kind of Indian single malts. Didn't know that was a thing. Didn't know anything about it. My apologies. Please put in the comments below if y'all have any tips, tricks, or whatever. That's good.
For sure.
It's bad. Please, while you're doing that, hit that notifications, hit that like button, and hit that subscribe. Thank you.
Yeah,
there's a ton of just stuff going on.
Yeah.
Ton of just like, in like a weird way, I want to say nature. Because there's a ton of like herbs. There's a ton of just like, there's some earthy tones with that, like some grass with that.
Yep.
Like wet grass, like with a little dew.
So this kind of reminds me of, so we have a guy, and I think I've talked about him on the channel before. I haven't. His name is Mr. T. He has a tea truck.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He has a tea truck, but now he's making things called slush teas. It's a slushy machine, but it's slush tea. And this has a very like slush tea smell to it. So shout out to Mr. T.
I can see the tea. I see what you're saying with the tea. There's also a little bit of like a smokiness, but like a campfire, like a really fresh campfire.
Yeah.
Note to that with like really fresh, kind of like wet wood that's kind of burned, like not super wet, but you know, it's not dried out.
Yeah. Yeah, that.
Would you say greenwood? I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's still, I think the cherry and the cinnamon are like the predominant.
I agree. But it's not like a cherry, like, it's not like a red hot or anything else like that either.
No. All right. Let's see
Ton
what
of
this
spice on there.
Yeah,
I'm wondering how much of that is like baking spice compared to rye spice, because you get a little bit of both on there.
Mm-hmm. The malt definitely comes out.
Yeah, but not like crazy.
No, but it's definitely there. Like,
yeah,
you can definitely tell.
You can taste some of that, but honestly, it's crazy to me how sweet that is. That's very, very sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would be really as sweet as what that is. There's still a little bit of like a smoke taste to that. That's kind of merging in with that malt. I guess that's more like that malt tone of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, for that being a burr rye, though, that is a very well blended burr rye. Because sometimes one dominates the other, and you get a really good, healthy mixture of both.
But to their credit, they put a lot of good bourbon in there, and a lot of bourbon in there.
All of this is in theory pretty dang good.
Yeah. They put a pretty good amount in there to kind of balance it out really well.
There is not one sharp tone on there. There really isn't. It is very well rounded. It is very well balanced. There's a little bit of like a gingerbread note to that as well.
I still get the cinnamon and cherry on the palate along with that. I took a drink of water, and the maltiness is a little less after taking a drink of water. It's not as malty as it was prior to that.
I think there's almost like an L8, which is like a ginger, like soda.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of that. Man, this is a interesting kind of wild rye, because there's a lot of like really. So it's really underlined. So you have the malt influence, obviously, with that rye. And I think that alone is like really, really good. But then you have some of that sweetness, some of that backbone of that bourbon that just kind of helps carry this.
I think you're right.
And also helps with that finish.
I think it's a good finish.
Yeah, I think it's strong. It is. It's so unique.
I think it's
in a good way.
I know
in a very good way.
I know we talked about on the nose. It's not like a cherry candy nose, but I feel like the finish. It has a cherry candy finish, like what the remnant of after eating like one of the hard candies is kind of right there on the finish for me.
Yeah.
In a good way. Like it's not bad at all. Like this is good. I'm impressed with it.
I am too. I didn't really know what to think. I just remember seeing like the side of the bottle, thinking to myself like, holy crap, there's just a ton of really good whiskey thrown in there.
Yeah, there's a ton of that. And I didn't know what to expect with the Indian malt. Like I honestly didn't.
I'm still shocked how sweet it is to me. It's almost like sweet like a weeder. And I think whenever Ron and I were talking about this, like whenever I tried it the very first time, I thought it was like a weeder almost. Yeah. Now coming back to it, drinking a couple more drinks to it, you can definitely tell with like the malt influence and the rye influence of that.
Yeah.
But there is such a strong sweetness to it that, I wouldn't have expected that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I like this. I think this is super cool. I think it's very, very interesting. I think if you want something that's different and yet really tasty and good, I think this hits all your marks.
It does. And the thing about Bardstown is all of their collaborations haven't been great. Like there's some are phenomenal and some have just been, they're okay, they're fine. But this one I think hits up into that greater mark where it's different enough that it's gonna be interesting for you to open and share with people and be able to really, I think, enjoy this whole thing.
Agreed. I think this is awesome. We recommend it to us. It's a buy, or at least to me, it's a buy.
Yeah, I think it's a buy for me too.
So yeah, Bardstown did a great job.
Yeah.
We love you guys. We appreciate you guys so much.
Always.
And, by the way, we didn't say at the beginning of the video, this bottle was given to us. So sorry I didn't put that in the beginning. But
again, they have no expectations of us at all.
Yeah.
They just said, review it, tell us what you think about it.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll do. That's what we'll always continue to do.
Very grateful for it because it is tasty.
Yes.
I can't wait to share it. This is actually going to be really fun to share because I'm going to stump so many of my friends whenever I try this, or whenever they try this. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. It's
So-
a great bottle share bottle for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Well, till the next time,
We'll see you.
we'll see you.